Hey guys, what's up? This is CG Stuff. Today I just want to showcase really fast that update 1.4.1 is out. Just a small hotfix because solos before cannot delete an action or a pose because obviously action library is an asset library first and foremost. However, it is also catering to studios because before you have archive and trash, and essentially what that means is that let's say I have an action really fast. What you guys do is like you just click on an action and you archive. This is the archive button, and it's telling you that this action hasn't really been deleted. It's just in the archive but the section. What that means that you can always restore it. However, since again we want to cater to solos, obviously, so I'm gonna restore this action, go back to the library, and essentially what I did is that in the new this new hotfix is if you can just apply, these virtual folders disappear and you have a trash button. Just be careful with this because once you click on an action, you are permanently deleting your action, and this cannot be undone. Obviously, like you guys still have your actions, etc., whatever. But this is essentially what this new update does. And right now, this action has been disappeared. The folders have been disappeared. Treat this how you will. If you want to work in archiving, instant deletion, that's completely up to you. Today, though, I want to showcase something new that I've been working on. I just want to do a small demo. And essentially, this is kind of like Kitsu F-Track. Well, not Kitsu, it's more like Shard Grid, if you will. But why I'm showcasing this is that because let's say if you have, let's say, let me just capture this again. Right, let's say I have this action, I have lineage, and I can draw like, with brush, I can go to another place. I have a, like do whatever I want to do this. But here's the thing, I am actually drawing on my action. I'm not really like analyzing reference. So what do? Cool. So this is where this comes in. This is mainly, I'm going to showcase this next. But let's say I have these two modes, and essentially this is the main bread and butter of this application. It's basically a shot indexing application. So what I'm going to do is, before I showcase what this is, I'm going to go to analysis mode, and I'm going to just showcase this reference folder, and just, this is just like a Charlie Chaplin movie, basically, that I'm going to show you guys. Is you click here, and you click on this. This is just a bit of a bug, but bear with me. If you analyze, you can actually basically, instead of lineage, like in shot library, sorry, like action library, you have something called analyze. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to scrub through my movie over here. And essentially what it does, it allows you to use the exact same tools as, let's say, analysis, sorry, like an action library. All right. So here's the thing. Now you guys want to, let's say, have like a reference, whatever. Oh, this is a key pose. Oh, this is another key pose, etc. So if you have, like, let's say, a reference that you guys shot, you want to use like a fight scene, a punch, whatever, just a reference in general, you guys can like use it, sync sketch styles, keyframe pro style, etc. You can, you have all the tools at your disposal to do. This is a 9-minute movie, just whatever. But this is the, like, I don't want to use like specific things, so I'm using public domain footage. So yeah, basically, like if you want to, like, oh, okay, do this arc, whatever, etc. You get the idea. However, even if you are using something that's like extremely long, like 9 minutes, you can just click edit, and it will take you to this page where basically, like, I'm gonna play. And all right, cool. So let's say I want, this footage. I'm gonna click here, and then like, oh, cool. I'm gonna crop, and it will tell me you want to extract this. So yeah, this is new, basically a new footage. And if you go to the open folder, I'm gonna basically see it here and like this new folder, right? So essentially, I just cropped only this part. Cool. So and then when you export it back, basically it's just like cropping without editing. If you have like long reference, you can put it back inside this specific location, because I have like a reference folder, I have like a long footage. You can export it and do the same thing. You can go back, analyze, do the exact thing. And after you like basically draw over something, you can basically export this folder again, export with annotations, kind of like exactly like action library. This is that part of this application. But again, this is not the bread and butter of this application. This is one part of it, because again, I realized that, oh, we need reference to draw on. The bread and butter of this application is this. So I'm going to go back to my test production file. And the idea, again, this is just a fast demo. This is still basically work in progress, is that if I'm working on a small cinematic, basically, or a large one, depending on what you guys want, is that I want to basically parse my files, index my files. This is just observing what I already have. Basically, I have these folders, basically, and each shot is a Blender file. So let's say I'm gonna have like, let's say episode 1, episode 2, cool. And inside I have like, let's say episode 1 underscore sequence 5 sequence shot 5, and let's say episode 1 sequence 5 shot 10, and inside each one is a blend file. Now, the way it happens is that these blend files are authored by you. You're in complete control of your pipeline, of your naming convention, and the application, it just reads them. All right. So I'm just going to look at this blend file. So over here, I just have Suzanne and a camera, just zoom in. And in the application add-on, I can, like Action Library, I can open the application from here. And I have two buttons, a Play Blast button and a Look Dev button. And essentially they do the same thing, just like capture an OpenGL render from the viewport. So why do I have to? I have to basically organize it in a manner where basically you have a PlayBlast operator and a LookDev a LookDev folder and a PlayBlast folder. And what happens is that, let's say right now I'm previewing, let's say this shot that's captured from the PlayBlast button, and then I want to see it in LookDev, as in I want to check out the lighting. Cool. I just click this button. Notice that it's basically essentially this one, and this one. But I just made it in a way that's just easier. So let's say you want to see how the scene looks, your set dressing, etc. And then you want to see the lighting. You click here. Oh, cool. So basically now we're checking out the lighting, and then we'll get to the final render. This is a just entirely different topic, but I can see the difference between them. You know what I mean? Cool. So let's say I come here. I just, cool. I like the shot. I like the set dressing. And then I can just click with the LookDev, click on here again, and I can switch between them. That's nice. So I go to my next shot. I create it essentially, which is basically this one. And then let's say we're making a small mini episode, and all of these 4 shots, ignore the last one, are basically, let's say episode 1, episode 1, episode 1, and then episode 2. Just keep that in mind for a second. And then we have basically, let's say in this one shot, basically there's like a zoom in on Suzanne, and then this second shot, basically like Suzanne is turning, and then the camera is behind the monkey, and then, it's walking away. Awesome. And then I want to, see the lighting now. So I click here, and then, oh, cool, I can see it. But here's the thing. What if I want to see it all in succession? So there's this button. I click on it, and then I click on shot 1, and now I can see the entire thing in succession. And then, and it keeps going. All right, just gonna ignore these. But here's the thing. It's just showing us the last shot. Ignore just whatever. I can click this filter, and I can click on episode 1, and it's showing me only the shots from episode 1. Obviously, if this was a movie or cinematic, you wouldn't have to do this. But if you want to filter by episodes, you know what I mean? That's nice. I'm going to stop here because regarding renders and other stuff, this can be becoming a bit too long. I do, however, want to just point out that basically, if you're in a shot, basically you can just click on the Blender file and it will open the blend file immediately, which is, you can come back, edit, etc. and then re-render, because right now I'm at PlayBlast version 11 and LookDev version, let me see. Sorry, this is LookDev version 11 and PlayBlast version 20. So it's incremental, and you can go back in time, and if I view lineage, I can see all the versions that were before. Obviously, these are not the same videos because I'm experimenting and, working on this. And same thing, you can start, doing this, doing that, add comments, do this, whatever. Same thing, you know what I mean? Like an Action Library, it's very familiar territory. Notice that even the logo is here. This is basically a fork of my previous application. Essentially, just as a bonus thing, that regarding render, you have this thing, which is essentially a small render manager. And ignore all of this. Eventually, it's going to just be, this is not a proper render manager in the traditional sense. This is just something to make it easier for you guys to basically render PNGs in EXR, because this is basically the traditional format for let's say making a movie. Okay, so let's say you just rendered EXR, it will create this render folder along with the shot, and this render folder is the current render. Okay, so in case you take this shot, these sequences, take them to DaVinci Resolve, Premiere, whatever editing software, and you want to make the final render, let's say this is in review, it goes back to final or whatever, this is ready for render. So we create the render, ignore these shots again. It will create the render sequence and a proxy MP4, so you can preview it here and edit it, or draw on it, whatever. The render sequence is intact. It's yours. It's not for the app, so you can take it to DaVinci, and it will always be current. So in case you want to re-render, it will still be there. It's intact. It's not going to break the link between DaVinci and here. You see what I mean? So the idea is that, pretty much this, a full pipeline. And here's the thing. using action library, linking. I will show eventually how it's going to work and all mesh together when this is ready. But you can imagine the possibilities with this analysis, shot organization, all of this. So yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed this small demonstration, and I will see you next time. Bye.